Audric, where do you feel the offense is at this point?
I feel like we're at where we need to be. We pride ourselves to get better every week, and I feel like that's something that we've been taking steps forward to. And this week was definitely a big step forward for our offense and as a team as a whole.
Take me through the progress that the offensive line has made and how that's helped you guys as running backs.
Yeah, the offensive line is led by the strong. Honestly, we're led by those big boys. They're the hardest workers on our team. I feel like, and every week, Monday through Friday, they bring the juice every week, and that's something that's all championship team needs, is to be led by the strong. And those boys do a great job, and they get better every week. And I'm excited to see what they look like when it's all said and done.
Second row on your left, Tyler James.
Audric, I think it was your longer touchdown where you cut back to the right. Jaden Thomas comes in and sort of takes out the safety. How important is it for what the wide receivers are able to do for you in the running game?
Yeah, that was an amazing block by JT. I appreciate him. That's just a result of him working hard no matter what, not taking any job for granted. Coach Freeman prided us for everyone to do their job, for the running backs to pick up blitzes, for the receivers to kick out safeties for the running back. And that's just him being a leader for this team and just getting the job done. And I really appreciate them for that.
And you were getting carries pretty late into the game. You could have easily asked out. What makes you determined to stay in there even when the game's a bit lopsided to keep getting the ball?
So there's a couple of the ones were in there. The O-line was in there, and I felt like we weren't finished. I felt like we still had some things to do, and it was just finishing the game with the brothers that I started the season with, like Joe, Blake, Rocco, Zeke, all those kids.
Front row on your right, Pete Sampson.
Audric, if anything, what do you think this team learned from NC State, Duke, Louisville, your three road experiences that can help you next week going to Clemson?
Yeah, I think we learned that we're a really good team. When we play to our level, that we could do really great things. We have a great defense. We have a great special teams unit. We have a great offensive unit. And when we play together as one, I feel like we're the best team in the country, and no one can stop us.
And, I mean, are you sort of eager for the program to be able to test itself in a hostile environment again, considering Louisville was the last time you were away?
I don't know what to say. I'm eager. I'm more taking that 1 week at a time, one day at a time. And Clemson, like you said, is a hostile environment, and that's the next opponent. So that's going to be our focus coming in on tomorrow, and just ready to attack the week.
Third row, far left, Pete Byrne.
Audric, how big of a lift does it give you guys when the defense is able to score?
It's great, honestly, when someone like Xavier Watts can get an interception and bring it down to the 1 yard line, and all I got to do is get a 1 yard touchdown. That's all you. That's what you want to ask for. You can't ever ask for anything better than that.
Raise your hand. We'll get mic here.
Go ahead, Jack.
Jaden, at what point did you find out you were starting today, and how did you respond to that?
Yeah, just waiting to see if Ben was ready to play or not. And, he tested out during pregame. I've been rotating in behind Cam and Ben all year, so, I was ready to go.
You were like this close to a couple interceptions that I think you probably would have taken back. How good did it feel to finally get one?
Yeah, one play, one life. Come back with the same mentality. This week we watched the clip of Marshawn Lynch over and 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 over again and over again. So, that was mentality every time I stepped on the field, every play, and finally happened.
Go ahead, Pete.
I think the cornerback position, we sort of assumed it was incredibly talented at the top and deep, but we just haven't seen a whole lot of you or Christian. I guess just for the position overall, how good does it feel like that room? It's not just Cam and Benjamin. It's everybody.
Yeah, no doubt. It's always fun competing with them boys at practice. Me and Christian, we're ready because, any play can happen. But, praying for Cam and Ben to get back out there. But, I think me and Christian did a good job at trying to hold it down today, and it was good. It was fun.
And it's just from a personal standpoint, what you've been through with your family this year, and just the emotions of like having a moment like that and being able to sort of share it with your family.
Yeah, that's all I was thinking about. I told my friends, I promise I'm gonna get one today, and I just was picturing my mom and my dad in the living room yelling because I said my mom got it. My mom got to see this, so I'm happy it happened today.
Any questions? Please raise your hand. We'll get back to you.
In the middle, Mike Bernardino.
Thomas, what's the effect on the group when before the game that Morrison's not available, and then during the game Hart, And what did you think of the way the others stepped in?
I mean, going in, we really didn't know. It was a game time decision. So, I mean, we kind of just treated it like any other day. And then, I mean, it's just next man step up. And we got it, like I said, we got a standard. And it's next man in, do the job. And that's kind of how it went.
What was kind of your in-game advice or to keep those young guys calm who don't get out there in key situations very often? How'd you think Mickey and Gray in particular did?
Man, they did great. I mean, Mickey had a pick six. Christian had a pick six, like I say. They did great. They stepped up big time. We needed that. And when their number was called, they made the most of their opportunity. And, I mean, I think that showed. And, I mean, just shows how good the future is here. And, I mean, a lot to work on, a lot to improve on, and a lot to grow from.
Raise your hand if you got a question. Right in the front row.
Thomas, Audric was just in here, and he says when you guys play as one, he feels like you're the best team in the country. The defense obviously has a huge part in that. What's it like being a part of a defense that's playing as well as it has, especially the last 2 weeks with all the turnovers and the points that you guys are creating?
I mean, it's been great. Coach Golden talks a lot about we gotta win the turnover margin. We gotta get 2+, and whenever we do that, I think we put our team in a great situation to win. So it feels great, but like I said, it's still a team game, and we couldn't have did it without the offense. Without special teams, they played huge today, so it took everybody.
And then all those interceptions, seems like Xavier Watts is a magnet for them right now.
Yeah.
What's it like to see that? You turn around and all of a sudden the ball's in his hands again, and then for the two young guys to get their interceptions today, what was that like for you to see?
Man, I'm so happy for Xavier, man. He works hard. He deserves it. And like I say, I mean, he's just a ball magnet. He whenever he has the opportunity, he makes the most of it. And I told him he got to start scoring them at this point. I mean, he's getting one every game. He got to start scoring.
We're going to start with BB right in the middle there. Go ahead.
Hey, Chris. Can you walk us through the return and what that moment meant to you today?
Yeah, I think that moment was kind of a progression of the season from me being a rookie returner out there, me getting really comfortable throughout the season, and then finally having a chance to, actually get a return and then take advantage of it. We started off the game kind of wanting to set the tone on punt return, and, my job back there is to make that happen. So that's what I tried to do.
And talk about your comfortability now with Sam and developing that chemistry throughout the season.
Yeah, it's been great. Even since the spring, since I made the transition to wide receiver, and then he came in, decided to transfer here. I mean, it's been a constant grind. Sometimes we have good days, sometimes we don't. But I think that's a testament to both of our characters. Just continuing to push, continuing to grind day in and day out. And I think it's really cool to see just having our our work finally being paid off.
Down in front on your right, John Bryce.
Chris, that's now touchdowns 4 different ways for you: kickoff return, rushing, receiving, punt return. How much pride do you take in that kind of versatility? Maybe what do you think it says about your overall athleticism?
I think it says a lot about it. Growing up playing football, that's what I did anyway. They would just give me the ball and tell me go run. As simple as that. But I think it's something that I really take pride in. I want to be able to add value to the team as much as I can, and whether if that's catching the ball, running it, returning, things like that. I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. So I'm trying to show it each and every play.
Marcus was quick to praise you earlier today for the way you've responded since the Louisville game, when it would have been a tough play, but almost was a touchdown. What do you remember about coming back that week and getting back to work? And maybe can you give an idea of just how many hours you've logged with Chancey and the other guys to turn yourself from a running back into the leading wide receiver?
Yeah, I think, just that transition from Louisville through our bye week to the USC game, and then after that game, after this game now, and we're looking back at it, I think it's a really good testament to, one, the wide receiver room as a whole, especially with Coach Stuckey being there supporting us each and every day. He's constantly telling us that he has our back, and we have no choice but to have his out on the field. So, yep.
Staying in the front on your right, Angelo DiCarlo.
Back to the punt return. How did you escape?
Don't think, just run.
And we probably won't talk to you later this week. Just your early thoughts on going back on the road against Clemson next week.
you know, I understand it's a really exciting atmosphere, but you know, we're trying to reach our full potential each and every week. Simple as that. It doesn't matter who we're playing, where we're playing. You know, that's going to be our goal for every Saturday. So.
Front row on your left, Tyler Horka.
Being a former running back, you probably have an appreciation for what Audric is able to do every week. 19 carries, 114 yards, 3 touchdowns, which he had never done before, 6 yards per carry. Just what he gives this team every week and the way he's able to do it for 4 quarters, what does it mean to you guys?
It means a lot. You know, having somebody like that keeps the defense honest. I mean, they have no choice but to stack the box with somebody like that running the ball. You know, it does nothing but open it up for us, and we got to take advantage of it. You know, I talked about having Coach Stuckey's back on the field. You know, it's a two-way relationship there as well. You know, keeping the defense honest. So when the defense is stacking the box, we have to, you know, take advantage in the passing game as well.
And then obviously Darian got in the end zone, and Jeremiah Love had a really nice play around the edge as well. What does the future look like for your former position group? It seems like those guys are going to, you know, take the torch and run with it.
Yeah, I mean, you said it yourself. I think it's pretty obvious it's going to be bright. And, you know, I love all of those guys to death. Even though I'm not in the room anymore, they still kind of count me as an honorary running back. So I love those guys for sure.
Front row, far right, Eric Hansen.
Hey, Chris, just in some of your contested catches and your punt return, it looks like you got strength. I don't know if you had great cooking when you went home to Virginia but I mean, it almost seems like a confidence thing with you. Have you gotten a big boost of confidence recently?
I would say, yeah. I think it's just, you know, being able to put that preparation into work and then finally getting able to show it on Saturdays. You know, we practice hard every day, if you guys don't know. You guys have probably heard from other players as well. But I think it's just, you know, adjusting to the new role. And like you said, I'm definitely getting, you know, really confident in where I'm at right now.
And then just the whole wide receiver room as a whole, it was, I think John Bryce mentioned 12 catches for the group. Is that something that you guys have talked about in your room about wanting to be more of a pronounced part of the offense?
Yeah, I think you know, every time we have a somewhat good game as a whole, as a receiver room, you know, we always say that that's the standard. That's what we can do. You know, we're trying to constantly raise it at each and every day, and after each Saturday as well. So we're just trying to continue to grow.
Third row, far left, Pete Byrne.
Chris, we talked about you scoring 4 different ways now. The last 3 guys to do that here are Julius Jones, Rocket Ishmael, and Tim Brown. Now you. I'm curious, are you familiar with those names? And if so, I can tell you are. You know, what does it mean to be in that group?
Yeah, I mean, that's great company. It's a lot of legendary names right there. But, you know, I'm blessed to be in the position that I'm in, blessed to, you know, have a great coaching staff that trusts me with all of those roles and all of those positions. So, you know, I have no choice but to take advantage.
Our last question for Chris will be back on the platform from LaVon Whitaker.
Chris, when you made the switch from running back to receiver, did you think that you would be one of the leading receivers, you know, after 9 weeks in the season, right behind Mitchell Evans?
Yeah, honestly, I never really thought about the numbers. You know, I've always thought about how I can help the team as much as I can. And, you know, just with me being a new receiver now, that's the best way I can do it.
And when you have guys like Jaden Thomas, Grayhouse, and such a young core in the receiving room, how much do they look to you in your early success in your first year in this role?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I get a lot of knowledge from them. You know, they've been playing the receiver position a lot longer than I have. But, you know, it's just constant support from everybody. I mean, the play can come to anybody at any point, so it's not like we're just targeting me over and over. You know, it's really cool to see, just being that we're such a talented room. And I think it's really cool to see that everyone is coming together and becoming a family.
Thanks, Chris.
Yep, thank you.